Yo, 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 it's another Wednesday, and we are kitchen it up on Kittch.com, the food network for a new generation. How is everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. We're going to run through here one of our fabulous fall summer hybrid recipes, right? Down in the South, cornbread is king, and we are going to be infusing that Southern cuisine with one of our favorites, and that is Mexican food. So we're going to do a Mexican cornbread casserole today, which should turn out delicious. It always does. It's super easy, and we're going to walk you through the steps on how to do that. I am Montana Max. You're watching Montana Max Barbecue TV on Kittch, and with me, as always, is the fabulous and lovely Luna and Cami. Is your mic on?
Yes,
Oh, in the Kansas City Jen, of course, is with me as well. So yeah, making sure you're paying attention.
I heard you.
You heard me. All right, so we're going to get ready to rock here. This is a cornbread mixture, easy to do from scratch. We've got a whole bunch of different ingredients in front of us here. Let's run you real quick through our kitchen cameras to keep you up on pace with what's going on. Of course, on Kittch, it's got that fun right over there, backwards arms, right there. Feel free to join in on the chef's table at any time to hang out, ask questions, or whatever you're feeling. Make sure you get in on that and join us there. You're always welcome to. And show your beautiful faces along with us, right, babe? You want to show them how that's done?
I can. Let's
And while
see.
Jen is queuing that up, let's go ahead and give you the runabout here with the cameras. We got our head camera right there in the corner. We flip that over, and we will be taking you over to stove cam. All right. And if you're saying I need a better view of what's going on, no problem. There is your bird's eye view. As you can see, we've got a whole bunch of different fresh, awesome ingredients sitting right there in front of us that we'll be using today, as well as a lovely side angle if you need to see something closer on the cutting board. It's that easy, it's that simple, and it's about to get delicious up in here. All of the different recipes that we do here on Kittch, if you go back and watch any of our videos on demand, you will see that they are easily accomplishable on not only a budget, but in a short amount of time. We make these recipes while doing a live show in about an hour's worth of time, right, Jen?
That's right.
So if you are not hosting your own cooking program, see, that shows you my age. Are you watching your stories? Do you have the program on? If you're not hosting your own kitchen program here on Kittch or wherever you may be, you can easily accomplish these recipes in about a half hour's time. Yes, and we're clapping it up. There we go. Somebody's here and somebody's excited as they are clapping away. There we go. All right. Well, let's get our knife out here, start prepping, start repping. And we are going to be using the oven inside today. We've got quite a bit of winds going out. There's Jen showing you how the chef table works. Hey, Jen, why don't you raise your hand? Bing! And that's all you have to do to get my attention, because if you've seen any of our shows before, you'll know that I talk a lot. And that's a good way to get me to stop and go, Jen, do you have a question?
No, I don't. I'm good. But sorry, I'll do that when I
Well,
have a
way to
question
role
next.
play the whole thing with us here. All right, so we're going to be doing this inside due to the high velocity winds that we have. We're located up in the Ozark Mountains here, so we're going to go ahead and preheat our oven to 425 degrees and get that rock and roll. And we'll also start our fan there. Let's get our pots and pans in order. There we go. We're going to need the big boy there on the stove, and we're going to get things ready to rock and roll. All right, here we go. We are going to grab
Look.
there he is.
Hi,
There's the man, the myth, the
Quentin.
legend. Quentin, how are you doing? Coming all the way from Belgium, right there, pulling up his seat at the chef's table. Be cool, like Quentin. Join us at the chef's table and get involved. Then, Quentin! Oh, it's even got his little name right under there. Quentin the Clerk, 70, because a lot of people don't know that Quentin is actually 70 years old. He doesn't look it. Looks really good for his age there. And then he ran away. He dinged the bell and ran away.
No. Where are you hiding? Come back.
All
I
right.
don't want to be the only one on here.
Let's start prepping. Let's start repping. Let's get things rocking and rolling here on Kittch Wednesdays with Montana Max. All right. We've got a lovely onion here that we are going to go ahead and get cut up. So let's go ahead and start that. We'll take that end off so we can set it nice and flat, and we will split it in twain. There we go. Absolutely wonderful. Now let's go ahead over the top here, keeping the root end on so it's easily. Is that a word?
No.
We're going to check with the judges.
No.
And
not a
she
word.
is saying, no, that is not a word. Easily manageable.
You're gonna teach Quentin the poor English.
Well, you know, somebody's got to do it. We're going to go ahead and make some incisions. There he is. He's back.
Hello.
He's back. Ding.
Hello.
How are you doing, brother?
I'm doing fantastic.
Fantastic. Good.
Fantastic.
All right. I'm going to actually take a step over there and turn up my monitor here so I can make sure to hear Quentin and whoever else may join us at the chef's table. There, that should help. I don't hear so well. I'm old and deaf. All right, there we go. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Let's go ahead and we're going to dice this onion out, right? So we made our incisions this way. We will turn our onion 90 degrees and just come right over the top and slice that down rather quickly. Keeping our fingers out of the way is not to maim ourselves on live TV. There we go. One half is done. Root can now go away. Now, that's why we leave that root end on, of course. It's much easier to cut across there without our whole onion falling apart. And then we have nice symmetrical dices ready to go here. One more time. Get that ready to go. Woo! And I'm getting those tears, babe. I'm already getting emotional here. Thanks to the Senior Onion. See, that's the Mexican flair right there.
Should have refrigerated that onion.
Should have refrigerated that onion. Didn't refrigerate that onion. Let's get some heat on our pan back here. A little bit of olive oil. Low heat, rocking and rolling. And some olive oil in the pan. Healthy dose there. We're going to start getting that warmed up. So when we got everything ready to go here, which for prepping today, super duper easy. Super duper easy. We've got onion. We've got a green bell pepper here. We're going to go ahead and take care of this right quick, finding the flattest edge, of course. And let's go ahead and get our green bell pepper. I about said green onion because I'm looking at the onion. It's a good thing Link isn't here. I would be held to the fire and the flames on that one. Let's go ahead and pull all those seeds out. Split this down. Also get some lovely dice in this. If you want to get your Mexican cornbread casserole a little bit more festive, feel free to mix it up and put in red bell pepper, yellow bell pepper, orange bell pepper, any of the bell peppers you want. Also, if you want to spice it up, adding in a jalapeno to this dish is a very easy modification that you can do to your own recipe and really make it your own. This is one thing that we pride ourselves on with our recipes, and Jen will correct me if I'm wrong.
You're never wrong.
Oh, wow. Wow. One thing that we do pride ourselves on, though, is that we like to make our recipes easily customizable for people making them at home. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Yes. So if you want it spicy, add a jalapeno. You don't like it spicy, do it the way we're doing. Very moderate, full of flavor, but not on the heat, right? So there's a lot of ways you can go about this to make it your own, okay? So let's go ahead, get this green bell pepper, pull this ribbing out, few seeds hanging on in there. There we go. Let's go ahead and flip that over. On the side angle there, we're going to roll that out flat, and you can see that ribbing sitting up there. We're just going to take our blade, pop it right under there, and remove that nice and easily. Because we do not want any ribbing from a bell pepper, all right? Bell pepper, I've said this before, we use bell pepper, we use onion a lot, of course, but a bell pepper is not widely considered a flavor component. It is more of a moisture and textural component, but so we don't want to do it any disservice by having that ribbing still in there, okay? That's not a real edible portion of the plant and adds zero value to what you're doing, okay? So we always want to make sure that we get our ribbing out of there as best as we possibly can. Most of the time you can pull it out just with your fingers, just like that. But we are going to have some stubborn pieces here that we want to get rid of. Nice and easy, right? So far, we're doing good. Heating on the pan, oven's preheated once again to 425 degrees. Typically, we do put this in the smoker to cook this. And if you're using a pellet cooker, oh yes, green bell peppers, yay. If you're doing this in a smoker, 425 degrees would be the exact same temperature Any of our recipes transfer vice versa. If you don't have a smoker and you want to do this in the oven or vice versa, it's the same exact temperature, okay? So let's go ahead, get our bell pepper diced up nice and easily there. We're just going to rotate that and come across, okay? Now these are going to get pre-cooked, all right, when we make this casserole. So we don't want them too small, yet we don't want them too large. But the one thing that we want for sure, okay, is consistency. We're going to get these roughly the same size that we do our diced onion as well, okay? There we go. Now, unfortunately, we were out running errands, so we don't have that Food Network magic going on today where I can pull one out of the oven and go, and this is what it looks like complete. But we have made this recipe before, and if you saw the thumbnail, the picture, that is from the last time we made it. That's how it'll turn out every time. Every time. It's so easy, and it looks so good. The big key is after it finishes completely cooking, you want to let it set a few minutes to not only cool a little bit, but that'll also help the meat and the cornbread and everything solidify up. So as you can see from the picture that we posted for today's episode, that is a square as true as the day is long. If you cut into it too soon, it won't hold that beautiful shape. It'll still be delicious, but it won't have that plateable sensibility that you've come to grown to know and love from your good friend Montana Max and Kansas City Jen. Isn't that right, babe?
Yes.
Yes. You're so agreeable today.
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. All right. Last one. We're going to be ready to go here. Just get some nice, easy slices. We'll check our pan, and we're going to start cooking some things down here. This also is pretty easy on the dishes side of the equation as well. Okay, there we go. Green bell pepper, all diced up. We've got our onion. Let's flip it on back. Hello. All right, and we've got some heat in the pan here. Let's go ahead and make sure that olive oil coats that bottom of that pan. Let's give it a nice little turn there. Let's start working our onion down. Onion is typically the most rigid of our vegetables that we're going to be using. It's also going to be the base. So that is going to be the first thing that we're going to start cooking in the pan. So let's flip that over in the corner. And you can see we've got our big pan out there ready to rock and roll. And let's go ahead and just get our onion into the pan there. And get that starting to work, all right? Need to get a little bit more heat going there, so I'm going to turn that up ever so slightly. Watching that temperature, as we well know, the electric range here gets very hot very quick, okay? And there we go, beautiful diced onions. We got a few bigger pieces, not the end of the world. They'll start to break down as it cooks, all right? But overall, we're looking pretty darn good there, and we will add in just a little bit of seasoning. So let's grab our Mountain Magic, give our onions a little dash of that. This is, of course, from the Montana Max line of sauces and seasonings, which are all available on our website at www.what, babe?
MontanaMaxBBQ.com.
That is correct. All right, so when we're getting the onions ready to rock and roll, we need to get some garlic. We need to get some garlic rolling. What's up,
You
Smiley?
should have let Quentin do that. I bet he would know.
Yeah. All of our sauces and seasonings are available on www.what, Quentin?
MontanaMaxBarbecue.com.
.com. That's right, Quentin, nailing it there, even with the hand raise. We're going to put you on salary.
Good job.
All right. We got a fresh clove of garlic here, which I'm going to bust out a couple nice. Ooh. Look at that. Look at that. That's going to be a good one. Get a couple cloves of garlic going on here.
Fresh garlic. I think we're going to try to grow garlic next year.
Yes.
Our onions didn't do as well as we
No.
hoped.
Our
Our
onions.
chives did okay.
Chives did well in our outdoor garden. We grow a lot of our own produce, both in our hydroponic garden, and we took a stab this year at outdoor gardening for the first time. We had our first garden together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Onions did not go well. Chives did all right.
None of the onions.
None of the onions. We killed the okra. Not literally
Yeah.
killed it. We did a good job with our okra. We
Yeah.
had tons of okra. A couple of watermelons.
Yeah. A lot of zucchini, and yellow squash.
Squash, zucchini. Grew those. Tomatoes.
Yes, they were just late. I think
Late
we
bloomers.
Yeah. We got our timing a little off, I
But
think.
next year,
Yes.
we learned. Look at that. Look at that beautiful clove of garlic. Let's flip that camera over to there. Whoop. Massive. Look at that. Beautiful. I cannot wait to get this incorporated. All right. We are also going to have to head over behind me here to the spice cabinet of doom behind us here, where we'll be pulling out some of our Mexican inspired seasonings to really get that flair here to what we've got going on. Let's go ahead and give a stir here. I'm starting to hear a little bit of a sizzle, which is good. So we want to keep that moving and get these broken down to the nice and translucent. It's a good time now to get your garlic and things working together because it takes a little bit for those onions to start working now, right? About 3 to 5 minutes, give or take, depending on what temperature that you're actually cooking at. So this is a good time to just give them a little stir, work on a few of the other things that you've got ready to go here. We've got some corn that we're going to be incorporating into this, and ironically, not in the cornbread this time. Jen's a big fan of adding corn into her cornbread, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes, but not today.
Not today.
Not today. All right, let's get our garlic smashed down here with the largest side of our blade. I'm going to have to separate that out a little bit. Otherwise, they're going to go flying across the kitchen. Nice, beautiful, fresh garlic. And then we'll go ahead and pull our spices down so we have everything ready to go right after we get this garlic minced up. There we go, flattened out. Let's go ahead, rock our blade right over the top. If you are just joining us, thank you for stopping in here on Kittch, the food network for a new generation, with Montana Max and Kansas City Jen. Join us at the chef's table if you feel so inclined and hang out as we are making Mexican cornbread casserole. There we've got the lovely beep that says, I have preheated. I am ready for your dish. Well, you're going to have to wait a few minutes, oven, but that's good to know. We're ready, right? We're not going to have everything all set to go and then no place to put it. That's bad, right, babe?
That would be bad.
All right, onions are starting to get aromatic, which is good. Let's go ahead. Yes, Quentin.
That was me.
Oh, that was you. I see Pavlov's dog here. I've been conditioned. Jen, you have a question?
Yeah, I actually have a question.
Oh my God, stop the presses.
No. I want to know if Quentin, if you have Mexican food in Belgium.
It's not even a question for me. Quentin,
No,
you're fielding the
for
questions
you,
now.
Quentin.
The question, Quentin, is do you have Mexican cuisine in Belgium? Yes, Quentin.
I don't think so, but we have a lot of Chinese cuisine.
Oh, see, here in the States, Quentin, especially in the southern part of the United States, there is a Mexican restaurant for every person in the town.
Pretty much. There's a lot of Mexican
There is a
food.
lot of Mexican
The
restaurants.
further south you get in the States, we've got more and more Mexican food. Lots.
So that's interesting. A lot of Chinese food, not a lot of Mexican food.
Have you ever tried Mexican food?
I don't think so.
What?
Have you ever had a taco? Tacos?
Nee.
Okay.
So a taco is
But
like a waffle.
burrito.
You've had a burrito?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a taco is like a burrito, except it's folded up in a waffle. But it's not actually a waffle. That's just how it looks.
Like a pancake.
Yeah.
It's not even like a pancake.
Well, it's not like either. No.
Yeah. Quentin, we've got so many foods to feed you, my man.
Oh.
All right.
You got to come visit us. We'll take you all over.
All right. Onions going. Let's go ahead and yes.
Oh, sorry.
Oops.
All right, let's get our spices down. Chili powder, cumin, and oregano and cinnamon. Right? Let's get our cumin. Let's get our chili powder. Let's get our cinnamon and some oregano. All right, now watch me juggle these glass jars. No?
No,
Why not?
breakable.
Fine. All right.
And you can't juggle.
Well, that's also a valid point. I cannot juggle. All right. Our onions are starting to get translucent. They're starting to soften up here. So now we can go ahead and add in our bell pepper. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's flip this on over to the large stove camera. Give you the full view here. Stove cam. There we go. Onions rocking and rolling. I'm grabbing my cutting board. And now bell pepper also on the rigid side of things. So we can start working that in now. Okay. You can start working that in. Waiting on our garlic. Waiting on our garlic, which I got to really move that cutting board over there. Garlic cooks super fast, especially when it's minced. So that's going to be one of the final things that we throw in to this mixture here. But we don't want to get that in now. Not quite yet. And there we go. Start mixing that in. We got a pretty good ratio here. Almost a 50-50. I'd say this is probably close to a 60-40 ratio, 60% onions, 40% bell pepper. Okay, you can play with your own mixture, whatever you like, if you want to do more versus the other. There we go. But you will, I've got a piece of candy stuck. You will require a large cooking vessel for this specific dish. There's no question. Because after this cooks down, we will be adding also in our ground beef and everything else into the same skillet. Now, while that is working down, okay, we can start working on our cornbread mixture and have that ready to go, okay? So let's flip that back over. So we're not just watching vegetable saute here. I am going to watch that heat, though. We got a good amount of olive oil in there. If it's starting to get sticky on you, burn into the pan, you're cooking at too high a heat, and you may need to add a little bit more olive oil. But either way, we're doing pretty good. We got a bowl in front of us, and we're also going to need a whisk. Yes, let's hear it for bowls and whisks. All right. Let's go ahead now and get a measuring cup out because we are hybrid cooking. Is that you?
No.
Are you? Yes, it is.
It's
You're
not
you're a
me.
horrible liar.
See, I'm not doing it. Hands up. I'm not.
That's one hand.
He's not either. See, I'm holding the phone. You see, it's not us.
It's Montana clapping. That's
Oh.
Montana's hiding in the background, Quentin. You better call her out and tell her to get on the chef's table with you.
Yeah.
She won't listen to
Come
us.
on,
She'd
Frankie
listen to
Ann.
you, Quentin.
She would. She would listen to Quentin, I think.
All right, let's start making our cornbread mixture here. We're going to use a cup of cornbread. We've got to measure this out, okay? We're cooking, sauteing, and baking. We're doing all the elements in one dish. How exciting is that? Pretty darn exciting.
Very excited.
I know. Edge of your seat programming here.
Well,
What?
I just watching the cornbread going over the edge.
Very little. Very little. I'm working with the size of container that I've done pretty good.
Pretty good.
Cup of cornmeal, coarse ground, right? We want nice texture. Cup of cornmeal going in there. Okay? Teaspoon of salt, teaspoon of baking powder. Let's go. Where's my measuring spoon? Jen?
Okay, I'll come out.
I found it.
Okay.
All right. Keeping this sizzling. Keeping that working. We're doing good. We're doing good there. All right. Teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of baking powder. There we go. Teaspoon of salt. Let's get our baking powder. Jen, they can see you.
What?
You forget you're on camera?
No, sometimes.
All right, and a teaspoon of baking powder going right in there. Let's start whisking up our dry ingredients here. And we can also get out. We need a milk for this. We're going to need a cup of milk and 2 eggs.
And look at Quentin. What he put up.
Join us
That's right. Join us at the chef's table.
Join
Come
us
on.
at the chef's table.
Thank you, Quentin.
Look at that. Look at that.
Quentin doesn't just want to be just with me. He's like, come on, people.
All right, let's go ahead. Incorporate our dry ingredients with our whisk real quickly here. I'm going to get a little bit more olive oil into that pan. There we go. Let's mix that up. Nice and easy. The whole thing, when you're multitasking, stay calm, keep your stuff working, and don't get too high a heat going until you need to, okay? But that's doing good. We're getting some nice smell there. About ready to dump in some corn here. And then we've got some ground beef. We've actually, the last time we did this recipe, we did it with venison, okay? So the more you can, if you're a hunter, you use wild game, venison, elk, all works really excellent with this dish. But the most important thing, and the reason I brought that up is because you want very lean beef. We don't want a ton of fat. And that's why this recipe lends itself to wild game very well, is because of the low fat in it, okay? And we're combining all these elements, so we don't want a lot of, as Quentin will attest to, as he was here on last week's episode when we drained off the fat, we don't want where you can see through multiple layers of paper towel, right? Because it's all a one pot combination here with everything that we're cooking. All right, let's go ahead and get our corn in there. Before I start combining our wet ingredients, let's go ahead and do that. Throw that in there. And this is just frozen corn, okay? So we need to give this a little bit extra time. Get that working in there. There we go. And now we are going to need our, okay, to use my dry measure cup. I don't know where our wet measure cups
Oh, we
are.
got two. Well, there's one on the counter right there with the.
Oh, that's where it is. It's holding
yes.
El Salsa.
Yes.
That's all right. So we can use a dry measure cup. It's the same measurement, okay? The wet measure cups just have a little extra room and a better spout for pouring liquids, but it is actually the same measurement. So there we go. I'm getting in right there. We're using some nice, lovely whole milk. Right there. Bam. Milk goes in. Now, 2 eggs, which I can juggle 2 eggs.
No, you cannot juggle
Where
2
are
eggs.
you? Where are you, lady?
Okay. Well, honestly, there is a squirrel on the bungee thing in our wildlife sanctuary. It was distracting me.
We're doing I'm making you food. We're doing a whole cooking show.
Yeah, I was watching the squirrel.
Quentin is here, and you're distracted from all of us by a squirrel on a bungee cord.
Yes.
In our wildlife sanctuary.
Just for a brief second, I got distracted.
Quentin, can you believe how she's doing us, man? Squirrel on a bungee is more entertaining.
He was bouncing around like crazy on the corn. It was funny.
All right, 2 eggs going in. My word, Jen. My word. 2 eggs going in. And we're going to add a little salt and we're going to add a little pepper. Okay?
Oh, Mom Tana says, I am painting, so I can't be looking up. She's got to focus. See?
Mom Tana, painting. Jen.
We can watch you paint.
Jen, entertained by squirrel on a bungee. Not comparable.
Oh.
Not comparables. All right, let's go ahead. We'll get a tilt here. And we're going to start whisking up our cornmeal batter, okay? Get all that dry. I got to hold this like you're supposed to hold a whisk. This is one thing. Drives Jen nuts. This is when I hold a whisk like this.
Yes.
It's inappropriate whisking, right, dear?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not a baker. But I can make a mean cornmeal. Let's get all that off the edge.
Join for free cookies.
Join for free cookies. Nice.
Nice, Quentin. I love it.
Quentin's putting in the work to try and get him some friends at the chef's table with him. Free cookies.
Oh, I can't see that. Back it
Too
up.
bright. Too bright.
It's too bright. Turn the brightness down.
Bright light. Bright light. All right. There's our batter. all ready to go there. So I'm just going to set that up there for now. Because it's time, and we got extra lean ground beef, the leanest ground beef you can. We are going to add this in now. So let's go ahead, pop this open. This is 1 pound, okay? 16 ounces of ground beef going in there. And I'm just gonna hold this. This is good colored ground beef. This is nice. Look at how red that is. Lots of myoglobin. Even on the inside, it doesn't, it's not oxidizing out.
Very fresh.
Very fresh. Straight off the cow. Let's go ahead, break that up, get that into the pan. Be careful, your pan is going to be hot, kids. Okay, there we go. We got that broken up. We got that in there. We'll flip that over here to stove cam. Of course, I'm going to wash my hands because I just touched a bunch of raw protein.
You have to back it up.
What's that?
Get another message.
What's the
I couldn't
message?
read it. Let's try again. Oh, there we go. Oh, cookies provided by Max.
Cookies provided by Max. Nice. Now we can get our garlic in here as well. Let's go ahead and dump our garlic in there. You mean there's no gift box of cookies being sent from Belgium? What gives, man?
I'd rather have Belgian cookies.
Yeah, everyone wants the Belgium cookies. No one wants Max cookies.
Belgium chocolate cookies, please.
All right. Now we've got our ground beef. Oh, yeah, I said I was going to do that. Let's do that. Let's flip that over. Bam. Look at that beautiful color there. We've got all our ingredients coming together. Very lean. You can tell there's not much fat in this at all. So we're not going to have to drain this off, okay? You're doing burgers or something along those lines, you definitely want some fat in there, right? When we're grilling, but when we're doing a one-pot meal in the kitchen, we want that nice leanness when we're combining so we don't have all this stuff sitting in a pile of its own rendered fat, okay? A little bit of fat, okay, okay? Little bit of fat, okay. A lot of fat, going to change the whole eating experience. What's that say?
Alligator
I got waffles. Nice.
That sounds good to me.
See, it's late in Belgium, and Quentin's trying to be respectful of his housemates. He's solved the problem. Smart lad. I like it. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and get that heat up. We've got the ground beef in there. Let's go ahead and flip this back to the main cam. There we go. And this over to the stove cam. And now we can start adding in some seasoning, right? Because we need some flavor. So let's do that here. We're going to add in about a teaspoon worth of chili powder, okay? And we want to be careful not to overdo it. So we're going to go ahead. About a teaspoon's worth of chili powder. We're going to keep this real easy across the board here, okay? And about a teaspoon worth of cumin, okay? You're doing a lot of Hispanic cuisine, as well as a lot of other cuisines. You got to have that cumin in your spice cabinet collection for sure. When we were talking a while ago, we were asking people what's their... Yes! Nobody did anything!
Wait, what happened there?
There's no hand!
I don't see a hand.
Unless
either.
Quentin's that quick.
He's smiling.
It's Quentin.
He did something.
It's Quentin!
Look at him hide.
But we asked a bunch of chefs what they would have to have, like, in their spices. And cumin came up for everyone. All right, dried oregano. There we go. Now, the one that we don't want a full teaspoon in, just to add a little sweetness, and it's also very, very potent, is cinnamon. All right, we want just a dash of cinnamon to bring out that sweetness. Helps liven up those flavors. But a little bit goes a long ways when you come to Cinnamonville. So we're just going to go ahead and dust in just a little bit there. Probably a quarter of a teaspoon tops, right? Quarter of a teaspoon. Now let's go ahead. Ooh, and I can already smell that. It smells like breakfast with that cinnamon wafting through the air. This definitely will not taste like breakfast. All right, so we have pretty much all of our ingredients in there. We are going to add a little bit more. Babe, you want to help me out here and get us a pan that we can put this all in?
Sure. I'll be right back.
Would you like to come join me in the
Yes,
kitchen for a moment,
fine.
dear? That would be absolutely wunderbar. Absolutely lovely. All right.
A dish. A dish.
Yes.
How about-
Oven safe dish for our Mexican cornbread
I'm trying to
casserole.
remember what size dish we need.
Oh. One that is, about yay big by about yay big. 9 by 13 should suffice. All right.
Sorry for the noise.
Jen, you are ruthless.
Trying to be quiet.
You're fine, sweetie.
Okay. But this one work.
Yeah, that's perfect. That should work just fine. All right.
Spray.
Yep, and then we'll spray it out.
Okay.
You ready? It's Jen time, Quentin.
What? No.
He says, please. Come on, Jen.
What?
The adoring public wants to see your face.
What?
Yes. And by the
They
adoring
already
public,
saw
I mean
me.
Quentin. I know, but now you're in the kitchen cooking. All right, Jen's going to finish this recipe out, leave you in the comfortable hands of Kansas City.
What?
Jen, thank you so much for your time. You have a good one.
Oh, what are you talking about? Thank you, Quentin.
Everyone loves the Jen.
You
They're like,
should see
finally,
me.
he's out of here. Let Jen do it.
No.
Smell this, though. This
That's
lovely concoction here. Get a waft of
Looks
that.
good.
Yes.
Smells very good.
Yes.
It's coming along.
So we want to get this up. Normally when we're cooking any sort of protein, right, it's 165 degrees internal temperature, right? To make sure that all the nasties are killed and we're not going to give ourselves food poisoning, right?
Yes.
Right. So, but here's the deal is this is going to go into the oven and continue to cook. So we do not want to cook it all the way to 165. We wanted everything browned up and good. But we want to get about that internal temperature around the 155 to 160 degree mark. Okay.
Looks good.
Does it?
It's getting there.
Then you getting your
It's
hands in
getting
there.
I know. Sorry. Can I do that? No. Okay.
You just got to tinker, don't you? You just got to tinker. All right. You want to check the cornmeal mixture here? You want to give your approval on that there, dear? Since you're here.
Looks a little bit too liquidy.
Looks a little runny.
Very
That's what I was
liquidy,
thinking. So what are we going to do to fix that, dear?
I was just looks more runny than normal. So I would add some more cornmeal.
Well, let's do it. Let's start adding a little bit of cornmeal in at a time till we get our desired texture. We don't want it too runny, okay? We also don't want it too thick, like a pancake batter, okay? Now, we've got our ground beef pretty much. A little pink is okay. We don't want a lot of pink, okay? We got it pretty much browned up here. So, well, Jen is going to be doing that and getting our cornmeal to the desired consistency. Let's show people. Hang on 1 second. Luna, go ahead. Entertain everyone.
Oh, that helped
Luna.
a lot. Just added another half cup. Maybe not even a half cup
Hey. Thanks, man.
of the cornmeal.
He
So that'll
delivered a
help it.
doormat on our doorstep.
Oh, nice. And that is much better. That is much better. Could even add just a touch more.
So when it comes to liquids and making batters, your elevation, the humidity, all these barometric pressure, all can affect your batter's consistency. So when you read a
better.
recipe and if it doesn't turn out exactly right, like ours did today, you just got to add a little bit at a time to get it to that nice batter consistency, right? That was too runny. Jen came in. Not all
Better.
heroes wear capes, right, babe?
Right.
All right. So we've got our ground beef here. Now we can have some fun here. Okay. Let's go ahead and flip this over to the stove cam. All right. Now we've got some Mexican melting cheese right here. Look at that. And we're going to add in about 1/4 to a 1/2 cup here into the mixture. There we go. Save a little bit. Don't dump it all in there. Don't dump it all in there, right, babe?
Are you mixing some in with the...
I'm going to put it on the top.
Oh.
I'm going to put it on the top. We're going to go ahead and add some beautiful cheesiness to this, okay? And start mixing that in. Won't take much to melt that down. In fact, I can probably turn the heat off now. We got everything browned up. We've got everything cooked down. We've got beautiful flavors. The aromatics are wonderful. Trust your nose. Trust your nose. If you don't smell your seasonings, guess what? You probably need to add a little bit more. If it smells too potent, you done put in too much. But now look, we got gratuitous cheese pulls. Only here on Montana Max Barbecue TV do you get gratuitous cheese pulls, sponsored by Quentin. See what I did there? I tied him in. Since he's working for us, I got to work for him a little bit. All right, there we go. Gratuitous cheese pulls, melty goodness. You got the heat. Leave the heat off now. Everything's cooked through. We don't want to overcook it. That's the big thing there. Jen has been so gracious to come up here and make sure that we are dressed for success. Let's go ahead, flip this over. Bam! Look at that. We've got about 9x13 pan there, and she has done greased that out like a hog, didn't you?
Definitely.
That's what they say down south.
Oh, like a hog.
You done greased that like a hog, young lady. All right, now let's come on, Red Rover. Look, ready for you, Quentin? Gratuitous cheese pull. All right, there we go. So we've got this. Let's go ahead and take it to the overhead, and we are going to take this beautiful mixture here and all of its cheesy goodness, and we are going to flop that in there. Once again, lean meat, okay? You want leanest beef or wild game in this recipe so you don't have a bunch of fat in the bottom of your pan, ruining your meal, okay? Now, we're going to go ahead and take our spoon here, or if you'd prefer, you could use a spatula or perhaps another flat device. And we are just going to go ahead and evenly spread this out edge to edge, okay? Just like that. Look at that. Now, we moved to the Ozark Mountains over a year ago now. From where, babe? Minnesota. So if you were doing this in Minnesota, they would call this a hot dish. But no, it's a casserole.
That's right.
Everything that's made in this fashion up north is a hot dish.
What did they say in Montana? Was it a casserole?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only place they say hot dish is Minnesota.
All right. Now the key, right, is we want it nice and even. So if we turn it to the side there, you can see we've got nice, even all the way across, as much as humanly possible. Don't spend your entire life worrying about getting out of level and making it perfect. But we can stick our head down there and look and go, that's pretty even. Now, okay, let's add another layer of flavor. If we didn't have enough flavor right here already, we're going to get some fresh salsa. Yes, right? And we're going to do a nice coating of fresh salsa right there. Woo! Let's go. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. Let's go flip that back. That aerial view. Make it manageable for you. And we want this to be, of course, nice and even as possible across the entire dish. Yes, yes. And life is good and delicious. Right now, the show's been running for about 45 minutes, including the intro and everything. So, like I said, this is going to be easily.
Beef.
Why do I keep saying easily? Quentin, beef plus corn plus cheese equals best food in existence. All the things. And see, Quentin, you can make your own Mexican food. You'd be the coolest Belgian dude on the block, and all you need is a little chili powder and a little cumin, right? Add a dash of cinnamon. You'll be like, check out my Mexican cuisine. Everyone's going to be like, Quentin, have you been to Mexico? Which naturally you'll respond, yes. Yes, I have. I was there yesterday. It's that simple, man. But nice hearty food. Perfect for this time of year where it's starting to get cool. All right, there we go. Now, if you want to add a little bit more freshness.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Check it out. Check this out.
It's Senor Quentin.
Oh my. You look good. I like it.
We do have a little pico out that we're going to use for garnish, but I'm actually going to just do a nice little sprinkle here, some fresh pico in with that salsa. Why not, right? Just a little bit. Look at that. Freshness. Woo, little color, little extra layer of flavor. Now, here comes the moment we've all been waiting for. Jen has come in and saved our beautiful cornbread batter. So it is now a batter consistency. Don't want it too liquidy, but you don't want it too firm either, okay? Now this, you definitely want a spatula or a flat back spoon, okay? And we're going to go ahead now and make the top of our casserole. And I love these. Jen got these. These are KitchenAid, I think. But these are genius for two reasons. Number one, on the bottom, there's a rubber circle, so it doesn't slide away. Number two, built-in spout on your bowl. Genius. There we go. And I'm actually going to pull that spatula. Find a spatula. There is one right there. Oh my gosh. Jen, you take such good care of me in the kitchen. We're going to make sure we get all of that in the bag of chips out of the bowl. Okay. Now, it doesn't look like much now, but when it cooks, it will rise up and get that beautiful puffiness, right? That puffy, pillowy cornbread that we all desire. All right, there we go. Bam. Babe, catch.
No way.
You're no fun today.
No way.
You are no fun today. All right, now we're just going to very gently take our spoon or spatula, rather, and make sure we get all that covered edge to edge, right? Just like that.
Looking good.
Looking real good. Now, here's what I like to do. And Jen always gets a little nervous, but I like to give it just a little jiggle. Just like that. Use both hands. But look at that. Now we know we got everything. We got a little color peeking through, which isn't bad. That's all right. Now, the last thing that we really got to do here, and we've got some beautiful cilantro up here that we'll use for garnish at the end. We're not going to put that in now because we're cooking at 425 degrees. And if we put in that cilantro on top, it will just burn, all right? We don't want that. Okay. Let's go put that right there. Now, there's the rest of our cheese, about a quarter cup sitting in here. And we're just going to go back and forth. If you want to add a little more, you want to make it extra cheesy, by all means. With everything, though, we want it in moderation. Right, sweetie?
That's right.
There we go. Woo! Bam! All right, oven is preheated to 425 degrees. Let's go ahead. On the bottom rack, let's pop our oven open very carefully. Transport our dish. Remember, there's that batter, that salsa. It does have a liquid top there, so we don't want to get too whoop and have it slide right out of the pan. In there. Alexa, set timer for 30 minutes. It will take you 30 to 45 minutes to cook this dish all the way through and have that cornbread get to where you need it to be. How do we check our cornbread, babe, to make sure that it's cooked all the way through and we're not taking a raw bite of cornbread?
A knife or toothpick.
Knife or toothpick, and we'll insert that into the top of the cornbread. Put that in. When we can pull that out clean, we know that cornbread is done. Remember, that ground beef is pretty much cooked all the way through. We didn't cook it up to complete 165 because we don't want it to get dry out, even though there's enough moisture in that pan to protect it, but it will continue to cook, okay? So we take it up to 165 so it hits that perfectness, exactly where we want it. Cornbread off, cheese is off, salsa is off. What does it say? You can find us on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and Discord. Quentin, I've got my own personal Belgian teleprompter over here.
Awesome.
I love it.
So cool.
And that's right. Quentin is absolutely correct. You can find us, right? The fam, the Max Back, all over the internet, on all those social media sites, all at Montana Max BBQ. That's our handle, whether it's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. You can find us all over, including our website, www.montanamaxbbq.com. If you want to see the finished product, because I'm not just going to sit here and talk at you for 30 to 45 minutes, as much as Jen would probably love to watch me struggle for that amount of time. We're not going to do that, but you will be able to see a picture of today's finished product I will take a picture and post that into our Instagram stories, tagging Kittch, of course, the food network of a new generation, right here. On behalf, you want to come up and say goodbye and wave?
Sure.
Here she
I'm
comes.
coming.
Here she comes. You like that David Blaine character on the television, sweetie. But very few dishes, so very easy cleanup here with this. It's not bad at all.
That's good news.
That is good
That
news.
is very good news.
All right, so there we go. That's how easy, that's how quick it is. The show today, just under an hour. With cook time, we're looking at roughly an hour and probably 20 minutes, hour 25 minutes. That's while you're doing a show. So you can easily complete this dish in under an hour, no problem. Budget friendly. You can eat this for multiple days, especially like two or three of you. That's 2 days worth of food. If you got a big family, it's a very economical meal. That goes a long ways. So there you go. There is our Mexican cornbread casserole that you can easily do at your smoker as well. Same time frame, same temperature. All for that if you want to add that element of smoke flavor. But either way, it's going to be delicious. So once again, I am Montana Max. This is Kansas City Jen. Thank you for joining us. Quentin! I'm Kittch here. And as always, yes, there he is. Quentin! And as always, for those about to cook,
We salute you.
we sure do. Have a great night. Take care of each other, and we will see you all soon.
Aw.
Quentin!